Please join me in Gassho, or bow your heads in respect as we say together, Namo Amida Butsu, I take refuge in Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namando, Namando, Namando. Well, good morning, everyone. Whoops. I'm so happy to have this opportunity to be with you today, to chant with you today, to sing with you today, and of course to share the Dharma with you today. My name is Reverend Sara Perrott. You can just call me Reverend Sara, it's easier. And yeah, I'll just go ahead and get started. So, have you ever been scared of the dark? So, I know some of you may be thinking, nah, I'm too old to be scared of the dark. That's not a thing. Well, I have a confession to make. I'm 42 years old, and I'm still scared of the dark. Whenever I have to go outside after dark, I always take a flashlight with me, and I notice that simple, silly little noises can make my heart pound like I just ran a big race. I always hope that one day my dogs might just learn to use the toilet inside the house instead of making me go outside after the dark, but so far that hasn't happened yet. If you are scared of the dark, maybe you feel better when someone turns on a room light or a night light, or when the morning sun brings its first rays of light through your bedroom window. The room light or night light might remind you of your parents' love as you fall asleep and as you wake. That light helps you feel safe, and it brings comfort to you. In Jodo Shinshu Buddhism, we learn about Amida Buddha's light, which is like the warmest and brightest light you can imagine. And that light never goes away. It never turns off. There is no switch. There's no Alexa, turn off the light. Think of it like this. It's always shining, even when you can't see it. Just like the sun. Even on the cloudiest, ickiest, rainiest Washington day outside, the sun is still shining above the clouds. We know that it is there because we can see the light, even if we can't see the sun. Amida Buddha's light is like the sun, always there, always warm, and always caring for us, even if we can't see it. So, pop quiz. How many of you have heard of the word Bombu? So, show of hands. Don't leave me hanging here. Okay, we got a few. So I think most of us have heard that at some point since we began coming to temple. Bombu means foolish being, and we are all foolish beings. I'm definitely a foolish being. I'm scared of the dark. So we do things that we shouldn't do. Maybe we hurt someone's feelings, or we choose to do unkind things. We make mistakes. And when we make mistakes, sometimes that causes us to feel bad also. We might be sad, guilty, or even ashamed. But we are Bombu. We are foolish beings. We don't have to be perfect. We should try to be kind through our words and our actions, but we know we aren't always going to be. Regardless of all of our imperfections, Amida Buddha's compassion still embraces us. At our darkest moments, Amida Buddha's limitless light helps to light our way and bring us out of the dark. It helps us to feel safe. And it helps us to understand that even though we aren't perfect, we are still loved. When we say Namo Amida Butsu, we're saying thank you for the great love, the great compassion. We're remembering that we're never alone and that we're cared for just as we are, even if we aren't always perfect. So, the next time you feel like you've made a mistake, or you're feeling bad about something you did or did not do, remember this. Amida Buddha's light is shining on you right now, at this very moment in time, wrapping you in endless warmth and love. You will never be left behind. You will never be alone. In closing, please join me in Gassho, or bow your heads in respect, as we say, Namo Amida Butsu, I take refuge in Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Naman Dawats, Naman Dawats, Naman Dawats. All right, please join me in Gassho, or bow your heads in respect as we say together, Namo Amida Butsu, I take refuge in Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida
Namo
Butsu.
Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida Butsu.
Namo Amida
Naman
Butsu.
Dawats, Naman Dawats, Naman Dawats. All right, I'm back. Good morning again. Or good morning for the first time if you're just joining us. So before we begin, I have to confess something. I spent way too long this week trying to figure out the perfect opening for a talk about light and wisdom. I was pacing around my room late at night, which is exactly the kind of behavior that suggests I might not have this wisdom thing fully figured out yet. My dogs were looking at me like, you're supposed to be giving a talk on wisdom? Right. Even my dogs were skeptical. To be fair, sometimes I think they are wiser than me. They don't get stressed over the little things in life. They stay in the moment. And for the most part, they're pretty relaxed. Then one of them eats a piece of fuzz off the floor, and I think maybe I was mistaken after all. We often speak of wisdom as light. For instance, light dispels darkness, and wisdom dispels ignorance. When we speak of Amida Buddha as the Buddha of infinite light, we are also meaning the Buddha of infinite wisdom. I'm going to stick with this usage of light as wisdom for a bit, so bear with me. Here's the thing about light. We spend most of our lives acting like we're holding flashlights in the dark, convinced that if we just point them in the right direction, we'll finally be able to see our path clearly. That's the problem with depending on flashlights, though. Their field of light is narrow, they run out of batteries, their bulbs burn out. Maybe we try to improve them by using a brighter bulb, or upgrading to one of those really awesome, tactical, bright LED flashlights. But we still can't truly see our path. There's still shadows behind rocks. We'll still trip and, in my case, fall on my face. In life also, we think that maybe if we read the right books, attend the right seminars or workshops, or practice the right meditations, that we will somehow become wiser and better. Sometimes we are so busy trying to generate our own light that we forget there might be light already shining. So think about the sun for a moment, and we talked about this a little bit in the earlier Dharma talk. But the sun doesn't care if you believe in it. It doesn't require faith to shine. When you're in a basement, or a dungeon, I play Dungeons and Dragons, so we'll go with dungeon. You're convinced that you're in the darkness, but the sun is still shining. The issue is not the sun. The issue is that you're in the basement, or the dungeon if you're unfortunate. We have this idea that wisdom is about having the right answers, being smart, seeing clearly through our own power. But in the Jodo Shinshu tradition, our tradition, wisdom, or prajna, the perfection of wisdom, is more about being illuminated than about being brilliant. It's about seeing ourselves as we actually are, which is simultaneously scary, humbling, and liberating. The wisdom light of Amida Buddha shows us something we'd rather not see. We can't save ourselves. We can't think our way out of samsara and gain enlightenment. But here's where it gets interesting. Once we stop trying so hard to be our own light source, once we stop the impossible task of trying to be perfect, we can actually see by the light that's already present. It's like when you're in a dark room and you've been staring at your phone for a while. And you stop staring at your phone and you look up and you realize, oh, the moon's outside. It's actually light. And look at all those sparkly things. What are those? Those are stars. You're seeing these things like for the first time because you've looked up. They were always there. You just didn't see them. Amita's light shows us everything, not just our good qualities. It also illuminates our greed, anger, and ignorance. This is what our founder, Shinran Shonin, meant when he called himself foolish and full of blind passions. He wasn't being falsely modest. He was being honest about what the light actually reveals. But the light that shows us our foolishness is at the same time the light of compassion that embraces us anyway. They're not two different things. The wisdom that sees through our own self-deception is the same compassion that says, I know, but you're still okay. So what does it look like to live by Amita's light instead of our own? It doesn't mean we stop trying to be good people. It means that we accept ourselves as we are, imperfect and foolish. We act with compassion towards ourselves and others, not to earn merit or recognition, but because it feels natural to do so since we have been embraced by Amida Buddha's compassion. I would like to close with this final thought. Amida Buddha's light wisdom finds us in the basements and dungeons and other dark places in this world. It finds us in the dark recesses of our hearts and our minds, in our kokoro, as they say in Japanese. And it never abandons us once we are found. In closing, please join me in Gassho, or bow your heads in respect, as we say, Namo Amida Butsu, I take refuge in Amida Buddha. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Ndawats. Namo Ndawats. Namo.